Hello, everybody. Welcome to this latest edition of the video blog. This is Storm Talk here with Wave 3 meteorologist Brian Good. And we do have some storms to talk about, more so rain than storms. Over the weekend, we were expecting that complex to move in from the west and fall apart as it moved through. It fell apart. For a while there, it looked pretty ominous, but it did fall apart once it got east of the Evansville area, and it just became nothing but just a few showers, mainly for southern Indiana, for early this morning. So not a lot of rain this weekend. We could use some rain. I know a lot of you need to get your gardens some water. Also, some lawns need to be mowed as well. So it's kind of a catch-22 here when it comes to rainfall, but we do have several chances to talk about. So let's get right to it. Here's the latest that we have on the satellite, and you see that we're losing the angle of the sun here this late in the day, but we've had some breaks in the cloud cover develop around central Kentucky, and that has allowed for some late-day sun to warm us up in the mid-upper 70s. We'll have some clouds stream back in, though, as we into this evening, and that will allow for more of a partly cloudy sky at times as we get into tonight, and that will keep temperatures pretty much in check overall, but thin enough that there will still be a drop that will take place tonight. Okay, a wider view of the radar does show some showers and storms developing across areas of Arkansas. Now, a lot of these are going to fade away before they get to us because the air, there's not a lot of support for these to really survive in this area. Still got a northerly flow here across Kentucky, so we're not expecting much of this shower activity. It's going to be heading more to the east than anywhere in areas of Tennessee. A few little blips may show up on the radar working their way into Kentucky, but other than maybe a few drops, that's about it. The setup here the next few days is going to involve a pretty strong area of low pressure that is going to move itself down into areas of Oklahoma, into Arkansas, and then track itself right into the Great Lakes as we head into the middle of the week. As it does so, there's going to be a pretty strong southerly flow that's going to kick in. We've got a warm front that is going to be attached to this whole thing as it works its way up. That warm front will come through in about 24 hours. Around midnight tomorrow night, it'll pass through as the low pressure gets closer to us. We'll get some showers and thunderstorms from that warm front and from the main low itself. It'll take a while to get through here, but eventually I think it will. But it's going to be about a 48-hour window here where we'll have some influence when it comes to the potential for rainfall. Let me show the latest in the models. This will get us through the next day ahead of us for Monday. Notice our flow becomes easterly as we end tomorrow afternoon, but still that tells us the warm front is still down here to the south with that main low itself. So we got an easterly flow that keeps us pretty dry. It's a cooling flow and keeps the dew points in check as well. So there'll be a scattering of cloud cover around the areas as Futurecast is pointing out, but as far as completely cloudy, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we'll have some sun breaks. The more sun you get, and it'll be very scattered, that'll be your best chance. Ooh, I made a face. What do you know? Put some hair on it. Why not? You just never know what you're going to draw by accident. Anyway, if you get some sunshine tomorrow, you have a better chance to get temperatures into the 80-degree range. If you stay cloudy, you'll be in the 70s, and that's just going to be one of those things we'll have to take hour by hour coming up for tomorrow. Now, once the warm front gets closer to the southern part of the state, we'll be watching the arrows to shift around to more of a southeast and then eventually a southerly flow. That's how we know the warm front's passing through, and we'll see that as we into time. Now, what is interesting about this image here for Monday night is these storms here in West Kentucky near Madisonville should be actually strong, if not severe. They're going to be right along where that warm front is in southern Kentucky. They're going to track in toward areas of Adair into Greene and Taylor counties by midnight as the warm front begins to turn northward, and that is why that wind begins to shift more southeasterly, as you see here in our southern counties. Still east here along I-64, but southeasterly in our southern counties, that's where the warm front will be. So these storms will feed along the warm front placement. So if this is where the warm front will be, that's where the storms will be. But again, the threat will be our far southern counties for late tomorrow night. There could be a band of thunderstorms rolling through. We'll watch that carefully. Warm front keeps working its way to the north, makes way for a stormy Tuesday. Showers and thunderstorms develop around the state. Now, given the fact that we have an area of low pressure, by the way, up here to our west, you've got to keep in mind there is a chance for some brief rotating storms. There is a sign that we could have some rotation in south central and eastern Kentucky as the low passes by. It would all depend if we get any sunshine at all. Right now, we are not outlooked by a Storm Prediction Center for severe weather, and I'll explain why in a second. But it all depends on sunshine for the eastern part of the state here as far as the severity of storms. Otherwise, just some heavy rain passing through. And as we get into Wednesday, the low itself, we got a south wind, so the low should be finding itself pretty much just due west of us at this point. We got a strong southerly flow. The warm front that came through on Tuesday as well to our north in areas of northern Indiana and Ohio. So we're firmly into the warm sector here with showers and thunderstorms. Some of those on Wednesday could be locally strong as well as that strong south flow continues, and then heavier rain will come to an end. Now, here's the look at that low pressure. Again, a different angle here in a wider view. You see how it moves in. Warm front passes through. Those little showers and storms moving across our southern counties tomorrow night. Then here comes the warm front. The low pressure works its way up into St. Louis and then keeps on trucking into areas of Illinois by the time into Wednesday afternoon. Certainly, the eastern part of this is going to be your best chance to see anything severe. The closer you are to the low pressure, it's probably going to be more just heavy rain threat than anything passing through. And some spots could see about an inch or two of rainfall. Some could see up more than that, up to 3 inches, if you get the training effect of storms repeating itself. Okay, before I ramble too long here, the severe risk for Monday night has been extended now into southern Kentucky to account for that line of storms that should be developing and then racing its way to the east. So again, that's why we'll have to watch our southern counties for around midnight for Monday night. Up here to the north, not an issue. All right, but just FYI, the Storm Prediction Center has expanded the slight risk to account for that idea for late tomorrow night. Now, as we head into Tuesday, I mentioned we're not officially in the slight risk for severe storms as we head into Tuesday, but they did put us in a 5% chance. Now, once you got to get higher than 5%, you got to get into the 15% range to really talk about severe weather for a slight risk. But they do have at least a 5% outlook on the southeast side of the low pressure for Tuesday. And it does include a good chunk of our area. Again, it mainly is going to be our southern Kentucky counties and East Kentucky that is going to be the greatest concern. But if we get any sunshine on Tuesday, I fully expect this area to be upgraded to a slight risk potential. We're not going to know that until the actual day of. On the breakdown, because the clouds and rain chance, we're going to keep temperatures very close to normal. Upper 70s, low 80s will be the balance here, back and forth between now and Wednesday. Once we get into Thursday and Friday, we get more into a summertime pattern here. Ridge of high pressure builds in, so it's going to be more sunshine, high humidity, afternoon showers and storms pretty scattered about all the way through about Father's Day. So if we don't get any rain, if you don't get any rain out of the system Tuesday and Wednesday, you're going to have your only hope is going to be these scattered storms from the end of the week into the weekend, because that's the only time I see anything organized rainfall-wise is going to be Tuesday and Wednesday. It's a pretty good shot, too. I mean, we get low pressures like that. Usually we get pretty good bands of rain coming through. And severe weather is always just very hinged, like they all are, on how the day is. We saw this the last episode. We get a lot of data saying severe, but if you start off too cloudy, on that day of, it changes the ball game completely, despite what the models have said for days in advance. So we're not going to know how Tuesday and Wednesday's severe chances are going to be, but I really don't think anybody should worry about that. That does not look to be a big deal. I think the heavier rain is going to be the big issue for us Tuesday and Wednesday. Hope that all made sense. Pretty active week overall, pretty wet week. But we may see more of a break and more scattered stuff and more of a summertime feel as we head into Father's Day weekend. Okay, I'll be in again tomorrow. I'll be on tonight at 11 o'clock as well. There is a chance for a tropical system developing in the Gulf of Mexico. I'm going to give that a day or two before I discuss it, but it is at least on my radar. I like that.